Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my podcast. I'm so happy you're here today. My name is Ulvia, and if you're new to this podcast, let me tell you something. This is a place where we learn English through stories, books, and movies that we love. And today's topic is one of the most magical stories ever, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is not just a book. It's not just a movie. It's a whole world full of magic, friendship, bravery, and big life lessons. And you know what? It's also perfect for learning English because it's popular everywhere and you can find so many resources to help you. So, let's talk about why Harry Potter is so special, what we can learn from it, and also pick up some English along the way. First, let's talk about the story itself. Harry Potter is a young boy who lives with his aunt, uncle, and cousin. His life is sad and boring because they treat him badly. But on his 11th birthday, something amazing happens. He discovers that he's a wizard. He's invited to study at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This is where his adventure begins. He makes friends, learns magic, and fights against dark forces, especially the evil wizard Voldemort. The story was written by J.K. Rowling, a British author. She wrote 7 books in the series, starting with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1997 and ending with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in 2007. The books became extremely popular all over the world, and later they were made into 8 movies. Have you read any of the books or watched the movies? Which one is your favorite? Think about it, because I'm going to ask you again later in this episode. Now, here's something interesting. The books and the movies are a little different. In the books, there are many details about the magical world, the characters, and even their feelings. For example, in the books, we know more about the house elves, about the history of Hogwarts, and about the family backgrounds of the students. But in the movies, some of these details are missing. They had to cut them out to make the story shorter. This is why many fans say, read the books first, then watch the movies. Because when you read, you imagine everything in your own way, and then the movies bring that imagination to life. But honestly, both are amazing. Did you know that J.K. Rowling wrote the idea for Harry Potter while she was on a train? She was traveling from Manchester to London in 1990 when she suddenly imagined a boy who discovers he is a wizard. At the time, she didn't have paper, so she kept the whole story in her head until she got home. It took her 5 years to plan the books and another 7 years to write all of them. Rowling's own life story is also inspiring. She was a single mother living in poverty and writing the first book in cafes because she didn't have money for heating. Her story shows that even when life is hard, you can still create something magical if you believe in yourself. So, when you feel like giving up on studying English or following your dreams, remember J.K. Rowling? She never gave up. One of the most beautiful lessons in Harry Potter is about friendship. From the very first book, we meet Harry's best friends, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. They are always by his side, even when things get dangerous. Remember the scene in the first book where they have to go through the trapdoor to stop Voldemort? Each of them uses their special skills. Harry's courage, Ron's strategy in chess, and Hermione's knowledge. Together, they win. This teaches us something. True friends support each other's strengths and help with each other's weaknesses. In real life, friendship is not about having fun only, it's also about being there when things are difficult. Do you have friends like Ron and Hermione? Friends who support you no matter what? If yes, send them a message today and thank them. If not, maybe you will find them in the future, at school, at work, or even in the English learning community. Another big lesson is about courage. Harry faces danger so many times, fighting a three-headed dog, going into the Chamber of Secrets, or meeting Voldemort face to face. But courage is not about not being afraid. It's about doing the right thing even when you are scared. There is a famous quote by Dumbledore. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. This means sometimes courage is not fighting monsters. It can also be saying no when your friends are wrong or standing up for what you believe in. In our lives, we all face fears. Exams, interviews, speaking English in public, or even moving to a new city. Harry Potter reminds us that courage grows when we act, not when we wait. New words and phrases. Wizard, a person who can do magic. Courage, being brave even when you are afraid. Friendship, the relationship between friends. Evil, something very bad or morally wrong. Choices, the things you decide to do. To stand up to someone, to resist or oppose someone. We already learned so much from Harry Potter about friendship, about courage, and even about life choices. But there is still so much more to explore. In the next part of this podcast, we will talk about the magical world of Hogwarts, the four houses, the subjects, the teachers, and some really fun facts about the movies. So stay with me, grab your butterbeer, and let's continue the magic. Alright, let's continue our magical journey. We already talked about Harry's life and the lessons of friendship and courage. Now let's open the big doors of Hogwarts and step inside. Are you ready? I hope you have your wand with you. Hogwarts is not just a school, it is a whole world full of secrets, moving staircases, talking portraits, and even ghosts. It's a castle in the mountains, far away from the ordinary world. When Harry first sees it, he is amazed. And honestly, so are we. At Hogwarts, students are divided into four houses. The house you belong to depends on your character and values. Let me quickly tell you about each one. Gryffindor, brave, courageous, and adventurous. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are in this house. Its color is red and gold, and the animal symbol is a lion. Slytherin, ambitious, cunning, and sometimes a bit selfish. Many dark wizards come from here, including Voldemort, but not all Slytherins are bad. Its color is green and silver, and the symbol is a snake. Hufflepuff, loyal, patient, and hardworking. They are kind and value fairness. Its color is yellow and black, and the symbol is a badger. Ravenclaw, intelligent, creative, and curious. They love knowledge. Its color is blue and bronze, and the symbol is an eagle. Which house do you think you belong to? Brave like Gryffindor, smart like Ravenclaw, kind like Hufflepuff, or ambitious like Slytherin? Hogwarts is full of magical classes. Instead of boring math, students learn spells, potions, and how to fly on brooms. Here are some of the most popular classes. Defense against the dark arts. How to protect yourself from dark magic. Potions. Making magical drinks with special powers. Transfiguration. Changing one thing into another, like a mouse into a cup. Charms. Learning useful spells, like making objects fly. Herbology. Studying magical plants. Care of magical creatures. Learning about animals like hippogriffs and unicorns. And of course, every class has a unique teacher. Professor McGonagall teaches Transfiguration and is very strict but fair. Professor Snape teaches potions. Many students are afraid of him, but he is also one of the most complex and interesting characters in the story. And let's not forget Hagrid, the kind half-giant who loves magical creatures and becomes one of Harry's best friends. Did you know some fun facts about the Harry Potter books and movies? Let me share a few. 1. The actors grew up on set. Daniel Radcliffe, Harry, Emma Watson, Hermione, and Rupert Grint, Ron, started acting when they were around 10 to 11 years old and spent 10 years filming together. We literally watched them grow up. 2. The Great Hall is real. In the movies, the Great Hall, where students eat and celebrate, was built for real. It was not computer generated. It was so big that they could really have meals there. 3. The moving stairs were digital. The famous moving staircases in Hogwarts, they didn't exist in real life. They were made with computer effects, for J.K. Rowling almost played Lily Potter. The author was invited to play Harry's mother in the first movie, but she said no, because she thought she was not an actress. 5. The books were translated into more than 80 languages. Life at Hogwarts is not only about studying. There are holidays like Halloween and Christmas, which are celebrated in a magical way, with floating pumpkins, enchanted snow, and delicious feasts. One of the most exciting traditions is the Quidditch game, a sport played on flying broomsticks. Can you imagine playing football in the air? That's what Quidditch feels like. Quidditch has 4 balls, the quaffle, 2 bludgers, and the golden snitch. The game ends when someone catches the snitch. Harry is a seeker, the player who catches the snitch and wins 150 points for his team. If you went to Hogwarts, which class would you like the most? Would you try flying on a broom, or would you rather make potions? So now we know a lot about Hogwarts, the houses, the classes, and some really fun facts from the movies. But we are not done yet. In the next part, we are going to talk about the deeper lessons of the story, like good vs evil, the importance of choices, and what Dumbledore really teaches us about life. Trust me, this part will make you think, even if you are not a wizard. Alright, now let's talk about something deeper, good and evil. In Harry Potter, this is one of the main themes. On one side, we have Harry, brave, kind, and willing to sacrifice for his friends. On the other side, we have Voldemort, powerful, cruel, and afraid of death. Their fight is not just about magic, it's about values. What is right and what is wrong? What makes this story interesting is that good and evil are not always simple. For example, Professor Snape seems bad at first. He's strict, unfair, and even mean to Harry. But later, we learn he was protecting Harry all along, because he loved Harry's mother. This teaches us not to judge people too quickly. Sometimes there is more to the story than we see. One of the most famous lines in Harry Potter comes from Dumbledore. He says, "It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are far more than our abilities." What does that mean? It means that our actions, what we decide to do, are more important than our talents or intelligence. Even if you are not the strongest or the smartest, your choices can still define you. Harry chooses to fight for good even when it's hard. Voldemort chooses power even when it hurts others. And this is something we can think about in our own lives. Every day we make choices to study or not to study, to be kind or to be rude, to help someone or to ignore them. These small decisions shape who we become. What about you? Can you think of a choice you made that changed your life, even in a small way? Maybe choosing to learn English. Harry Potter is not only about magic, it's also about real life lessons. One of the biggest lessons is about death and love. Voldemort fears death so much that he does terrible things to avoid it. But Harry learns that love is stronger than fear. His mother's love saved him when he was a baby. In the end, Harry is ready to sacrifice himself to save others. And that's why he wins. Another lesson is about hope. Even in the darkest times, there is always light. Remember when Dumbledore says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. This is a beautiful way to say, even when life is hard, we can still find something good if we look for it. Every character teaches us something. Hermione teaches us to value knowledge and never stop learning. Ron shows loyalty and the importance of family. Neville reminds us that even the quietest person can be brave. Luna Lovegood teaches us to be ourselves, even if we are different. Snape shows that love can motivate people in surprising ways. When we put these lessons together, Harry Potter becomes more than a story. It becomes a guide for life. Let's try something together. I will ask a question and you think of the answer in English. Ready? 1. Who is your favorite character in Harry Potter and why? 2. What lesson from Harry Potter is most important to you? 3. Can you describe a brave moment from your own life? Great! Even if you answered only in your head, that's practice. And practice is the best way to learn. So, we talked about good and evil, the power of choices, and the beautiful lessons of love and hope in Harry Potter. In the next part, we will explore something really fun. Magical creatures, powerful spells, and the small details that make the wizarding world so unique. We'll also learn some cool English words to describe them. Are you ready to meet dragons, phoenixes, and maybe even a house elf? Let's go! Alright, my friends, let's move to one of the most exciting parts of Harry Potter. The magical creatures. The wizarding world is full of animals you will never find in real life. Some are cute, some are dangerous, and some are just strange. First, let's talk about the famous hippogriff. Do you remember Buckbeak from the third book and movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban? A hippogriff has the front half of an eagle and the back half of a horse. It is proud, so you must bow to it before you ride. If it bows back, you are safe. Then we have house elves like Dobby. They are small magical creatures who serve wizarding families, but many of them are treated badly. Dobby, however, becomes one of Harry's greatest friends and even sacrifices his life for him. This teaches us about kindness and freedom. Another creature is the phoenix, like Fawkes, Dumbledore's loyal bird. A phoenix can heal wounds with its tears and is reborn from its ashes. What a beautiful symbol of hope and new beginnings. And let's not forget the dragons, giant fire-breathing creatures used in the Triwizard Tournament. Scary, but amazing. Now, let's talk about some secrets behind the movies. 1. The food in the Great Hall was real in the first movie, but it spoiled quickly under the hot lights, so later they used fake food. 2. Daniel Radcliffe used over 160 pairs of glasses during filming. 3. The scars on Harry's forehead were drawn about 5,800 times during the 10 years of filming. 4. The cast really bonded like a family. Many actors say filming felt like growing up at Hogwarts for real. 5. Tom Felton, Draco Malfoy, kept stealing food from Seth. He admitted this in interviews. If you could have one magical creature as a pet, which one would you choose? A phoenix, a hippogriff, or maybe an owl like Hedwig? Think about why. So, what have we learned from this magical journey? Harry Potter teaches us so many lessons about friendship, courage, and the power of love. It shows us that even ordinary people can do extraordinary things if they believe in themselves. It reminds us that our choices define us, not where we come from or how powerful we are. And maybe the most important message: magic is not just spells. Magic is in kindness, in helping others, and in never giving up hope. Now, let's connect this to learning English. Maybe you feel like learning a new language is impossible? Too many words, too many grammar rules. But think of Harry's journey. He started as an ordinary boy living under the stairs, and he became the hero of the wizarding world. You can also be the hero of your own story. Every new word you learn is like a little spell. It gives you more power to communicate and connect with the world. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Even Hermione got spells wrong sometimes. The important thing is to keep trying, keep practicing, and never stop believing in yourself. Before we finish, I want to ask you, which lesson from Harry Potter inspired you the most? Was it courage, friendship, hope, or something else? Write it in the comments. I would love to know. Thank you for joining me on this magical podcast. If you enjoyed it, follow for more episodes where we learn English through books, movies, and real-life stories. Remember, the magic is in you. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and keep learning.